it wouldn't even be here if it had not been for Stacey and Alan, and of course Trey, their son, who died in I think in '99, and the center was actually dedicated in 2004. And so it's very fitting today that we're going to have this honor today, and we're going to ask Madison to come up here in just a little while. Alan and I first met back in 1991, thanks to Jerry Lee Bogart. I saw Jerry Lee here. Thank you, Jerry Lee. And Jerry Lee invited us to come to church, and we went to lunch afterwards, and Alan and Stacey came, and I remember telling Olivia, I said, darn, I think that guy called me on the end earlier this week, a cold call, and I sure hope I was nice to him. But Alan said I was, and that started our relationship, and we became business associates from there, and Olivia and Stacey became such close friends, and Madison and our girls are just like sisters or first cousins. In fact, Madison's been in 2 of our daughter's weddings, and it just was a wonderful, incredible relationship for so many years, and just like so many of y'all here in this room, in this setting today. You know, Alan is one of those special people, and Stacey was as well, that had so many great friends, and there are so many of y'all here today that you would consider Alan and Stacey one of your best friends that you ever had. And that's why we're all here. That's why this gathering here is like this today. You know, Trey was born with some birth defects, and he needed special treatment. And so Stacey started driving young Trey to Easter Seals in Little Rock and getting the treatment that he needed. Well, on an icy winter day, Stacey just right up the road from here on 165 going towards Homra, she hit some black ice and went into the ditch. Well, that didn't set well with Alan. After Trey died, Alan said, why don't we have a center in Stuttgart for Arkansas, for the Grand Prairie, and for the folks in DeWitt and England and St. Charles and Clarendon and Brinkley. My God, we ought to have one. Well, little did he know, there wasn't an Easter Seals outside of Little Rock. But you think that stopped Alan Homra? No, that just made him even want it even more. Well, in 2004, this center was opened. It was the doctor's clinic was here. Chris Morgan and others, and Eddie Horde, I see. And when the new clinic was built, it was a perfect spot. Mr. Dick Bell, myself, some others were on the board of the hospital at the time, and so we got a deal with Easter Seals, I think for $1 a year, that they get to use this clinic. Well, that was the easy part. The tough part was they needed about $900,000, $1 million to get it up to speed. So what did Alan Homra do? He went out in the community and he raised $450,000, which matched a grant of $450,000, and the center became a reality, and hundreds of children have been treated since. So that gets us up to today, and we're going to have a special announcement here in a little bit. Before we go any further, I'm going to ask our senator, our state senator, Jonathan Disney, to come up front, and he's got a special letter from our governor. This is Jonathan. Jonathan, welcome.
So one of the things Alan always used to do, and every time it didn't matter if I saw him one week and saw him the next, be like, where have you been? I wouldn't miss this for the world. And we also have a Senate citation, and I'm going to let George present that later to the family. But I'm going to read this letter from the governor. The governor did know Alan and considered him a friend. And I think always at the oyster supper is probably where they bumped into each other. Duck hunting a little bit also, duck hunting also. So, as governor, it is my privilege to recognize the dedication of the Easter Seals Arkansas Stacey and Alan Homra Child Development Center in Stuttgart. I extend my gratitude to all the faculty, staff, and volunteers for their outpouring contributions to our state's education and child development. For over 7 decades, Easter Seals Arkansas has been helping individuals and families with special needs and disabilities to live better lives. From physical rehabilitation to child development centers and job training for people with disabilities, Easter Seals Arkansas continues to offer a variety of services to help promote people with disabilities address life's challenges and achieve personal goals. On behalf of the state of Arkansas, congratulations for this achievement in education, rehabilitation, and child development. I look forward to the continued success of Easter Seals Arkansas and to the value it will bring to the citizens and families for years to come, with an exclamation point. Sincerely, Governor Asa Hutchinson. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator, for making the trip from Searcy down here and going by and pick up the letter from the governor. Governor Hutchinson was a good friend of Alan's. Alan actually served on the commission that the governor asked him and served with a lot of pride. I failed to mention a few minutes ago, I want to introduce the family that's here today. Alan's mother, Joan Homra from Fulton, Kentucky, came down along with her daughter Lisa. And then from Toledo, Ohio, Alan's sister Dee and Zach from Toledo, Ohio came down. On this side we have Kimberly, Dominic. Kimberly Dominic, I just went blank, from Houston. That's Stacey's sister. If you hadn't met her yet, you'll see that she's Stacey's sister in every form and fashion. And Stacey's sister-in-law, her brother Brett Gabriel couldn't make it, but Leah Kay from Dallas or South Lake came down today. Well, thank you, Leah Kay, for the family for being here today. Our next on the agenda is we got a couple of our employees here. The director, Barbara Bean, is going to come up and speak a little bit. Barbara, come on, make your way on up. Barbara and her family, Barbara actually started at the center as a volunteer and then is now the director of the center. Barbara and her family have had a personal association with this program as they begin their journey of understanding autism with their son who was diagnosed as a young child. So Barbara, speak from your heart and tell us what this center means to you.
Well, Mr. Dunklin, you stole some of my material. My husband and I, we moved to Stuttgart in 2004, and I can remember driving by Easter Seals and saying, I need to get my son's name on that list. And I think I had him on the list before I had an address in town. And I think they enrolled him to get me off their phone. So I could probably keep you here for an hour talking about Easter Seals, because I'm passionate about it both as a parent, as an employee, because they helped me on that journey to discovering Bud's autism and how it, how to deal with it. He's in his third year of college now and thriving. So, our enrollment is up. We're going more towards an inclusive classroom, and it's just going to get better and better. I look to hopefully have a problem that the waiting list is so long that we need to open another classroom. So that's my goal. When they told me that we were going to dedicate this building and this program to Alan and Stacey, it's long overdue. Very excited about it.
And the kids love her to death. Our next speaker from the center is Dana Conrad. Dana, I'll ask you to come up. Dana has been with the program since 2011. She's a pre-K teacher and completed her master's in special education last year. Her responsibility is mentoring and coaching the team of educators here at the center. Dana, say a few words, what it means to you.
So like you said, I'm a reporter right here. So like you said, I've been here since 2011. Whenever I started here, we'll talk about the past, right? Past, present, future. So in the past, I started out in the classroom, and from there I was able to see exactly what Easter Seals is firsthand. We are a center that worries about our children. We love them, and we know that early intervention is key. And to have something like this in our community is more important than I ever would have imagined those 10 years ago. And now I've worked with all of the age groups. 10 years later, I've worked my way up to now I'm a special education teacher. I oversee the 4 classrooms. And what I see now is that we are not only a preschool. This is not just a daycare. We are the team that helps to back up our parents. We are the the avenue for them to find ways to get help for their children. Just like Barbara drove by and saw the sign and said, I need to get my child there, I want other people to know that we are here. And I'm so thankful for our community being here today, because without you guys, we wouldn't be here. And without Alan, we wouldn't be here. And I'm so thankful. Looking back through some paper clippings from the past, I was able to see, because I wasn't here in 2004, and so what I was able to see was his passion and his drive, and it really encourages me to do better and to do more, because he lived it with his child, but then he saw the other kids in the community, and he loved, from what I can see, I didn't know him personally, but he loved kids, and I think he would be proud to know that this place is named after him today, and this is a great honor. And for the future, I pray that we continue to honor him in the way that we do things at our center. Right now, our current rep, her name is Zoe. She's 3 years old. She just had a birthday, and she's blind. And through her diagnoses, we have been able to coordinate with other early childhood centers around the state, including the Arkansas School for the Blind, the Arkansas Co-op, which is the Department of Education. So we've been able, that's our future, is to see how we can pull in people from around the state to come into Stuttgart and help us do the best for our kids.
Dana, thank you so much for speaking from your heart. How this day kind of happened, I got to give Catherine Norton credit. Catherine is with Easter Seals right here at the Senior Development. Catherine's uncle is a very good, used to work for me, Wimpy Norton from Pine Bluff, and her father, Mac Norton, is a judge over in Pine Bluff. So we're our Pine Bluff connections, and Catherine called me, and I guess, Catherine, you had the idea of, what about this, and renaming the center and doing it on Alan's birthday. November 16th, Alan's birthday. Well, I mentioned to Olivia, and she said, absolutely great idea. And so I went to Madison, and Madison blessed it, which I appreciate. And that's why we're here today, because of that call that Catherine. After that, we got together, Catherine and Mac Bell, who's here today as well. Mac has been with Easter Seals and has come and now is back. And so Mac and Catherine and I and Olivia, we got with the new CEO of Easter Seals up at Chenal one afternoon about 2 months ago to talk about this day. The new CEO is Ron Ekstrand. Ron came to us from the national office at Easter Seals, where he was the senior vice president of network advancement. His total service of Easter Seals in his career has been over 10 years. But what made, when we were talking at Chenal at the club, I said, Ron, what else did you do not at Easter Seals? Well, he's from St. Louis, and guess what organization he worked for 5 years at St. Louis? Edward Jones. Is this a God thing or what, preacher? He knew of Alan. He didn't know Alan personally, but he knew all about Alan. Ron's got his MBA from Washington University, and I would say we're extremely fortunate to have Ron here in Arkansas leading Arkansas Easter Seals. So, will you please give a warm Arkansas County welcome to Ron Esther, the CEO of Easter Seals.
Thank you, George. Is this on? Nope. Did I turn this off? Mac? There you go. Power? Yep. Thank you, George. And it's my understanding it's also your birthday, so happy birthday to George.
Thank you.
Some people confuse me for a basketball player, and I did play basketball in high school and college. Strangers in elevators will ask me how tall I am, and if I did play basketball, that was in high school and college. 6'8", same height and weight as LeBron, but not the same skill level. So I decided I needed to go get an MBA instead of trying to play for the NBA. So it is a pleasure to be here. I spent about 25 years working in the for-profit world, 5 of those at Edward Jones. And Edward Jones was an incredible organization. an incredible organization that there were incredible lessons to be learned about how to create a company that is sustainable, that creates value, and that is a great place to work. When I was there, I joined when they were like 5 years into a 10-year run of being a best place to work in the United States. The lessons I learned there about kind of creating culture, people, processes, and systems are what we were trying to do at Easter Seals, to be the place to work in our field. If we can attract the talent that we need, we will deliver the services that you all want and need in this community. Long term, if we do that well, people will also want to invest their time, their talent, their treasure in supporting our mission. And our mission is to help people with disabilities to be fully included, to live, to learn, to work, and to play in their communities. It is an honor to be here today to carry on the legacy of Easter Seals Arkansas, an organization that was founded in 1944 at the outbreak of polio, helping children who were being disabled by that disease. I joined the organization not quite 2 years ago, thinking I was going to come in and help build an organization to a whole nother level, and this thing called COVID hit, and we spent the next about a year and a half just figuring out how to navigate that. It is so great to be back out in public and to be with people again. We have been communicating via Zoom, and we've got an incredible board that's been very passionate about supporting us. I also want to personally thank Senator Dismang, who was one of the first people I met right before COVID, who helped us navigate how to get some of the funds to help keep our doors open. So Senator, appreciate you very much for that. I can tell you Easter Seals is all about people. We don't produce products. The only thing we have to offer are the people that we have that provide the services. And I've got to tell you, having worked at the national office and seen a lot of other organizations, we have some of the best people in the country. We have assembled an amazing, talented team that are here to take what we're doing to a whole nother level. I think that is something that Stacey and Alan would be very proud of. And it is my honor and privilege just to be part of this history and this legacy. My goal is to help Easter Seals expand its mission across the entire state so that all the communities across the state have the benefit of a center like we have here. So I want to thank the family for being here today and for making this happen. And George, thank you for helping coordinate that, and my team. What a great day and a great event. Thank you all for being here. I love that this community has turned out like this, and it is a testament to and I want to say this is a recommitment of us to our community here and how we can better serve you. So thank you for being here. I will turn it back to George.
Thank you, Ron. Now, the reason we're here today, I'm going to ask Madison to come up. I'm going to go over here and grab the scissors. It really work. Madison likes to say a few words.
I just want to say thank you all for being here. I mean, this is incredible, an amazing honor to both my parents, and a legacy that will live on for forever. And I can't wait to see it grow and continue in this community and everywhere else, Little Rock. And thank you all for being here again. Let the sign reveal it, and let the sun shine.
Everybody ready? Here we go. That was awesome.
but not least, my wife Livia and Pam Holt want to come up and share with you.